This is Akinyemi Law. You see, Akinyemi Law is someone that I conveniently would refer to as a pioneer music industry lawyer in the Afrobeat music space.
See you soon. Now, magic lawyer, believe so.
Tell us your best friend there.
MK.
For over a decade now, he has pushed the culture and advocated for some of the most vulnerable players in the Afrobeat music space.
Maybe like 8-9 years. Yeah. I was actively writing, recording, performing.
Years down the line, Akinyemi has made a name for himself in the space, representing some of the biggest names in the industry.
And then qualified as a lawyer, dumped the dream of being in front of the camera as an artist, found myself being a talent manager, co-founded a law firm, and I've been doing a lot of advocacy work in music, and now I do many things in music.
And also contributing in his own way to helping put a structure professionally to the industry. I had a chat with Akinyemi,
and I duplicated Audu's move, which was, he was a talent manager, he was doing events, and then he discovered some talent.
And he told me about how it all started for him, his early days inspiration, and also some of the biggest disappointments that he faced starting up.
I started managing the talent then. On like the anniversary of the 2 years, he just told me, hey, we have to take a break. And me that I was trying to be the next Audu Maikori. I wanted to make you my own Emma Abaga. That dream just blew up in my face. I was depressed for like 3 months.
I asked him about what he thinks the future holds for Afrobeat as someone who has been around for a while. And if he thinks that this buzz that we're experiencing now is going away anytime soon.
I think the Nigerians are the flag bearers for the black race. I think you should quote me. I think we are the most creative, most hardworking branch of the black race. If you line up all the African countries, Nigerians would always dominate.
Who is Akinyemi Law?
Yes, the guy just fell in love with music at a very, very young age. Born to a family of 5 kids, grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. Studied at the University of Lagos, 6 years in uni, 2 years in secondary school, 1 year doing jam. Maybe like 8-9 years. Yeah. I was actively writing, recording, performing. Right. And then qualified as a lawyer, dumped the dream of being in front of the camera as an artist, found myself being a talent manager, co-founded a law firm, and I've been doing a lot of advocacy work in music, and now I do many things in music. So Akinyemi is also married with 2 amazing kids, and we're in London.
Over a decade ago, Akinyemi ran a blog called Citrus Music. And on this platform, he wrote commentaries about the music industry, which for a young undergraduate like myself, not so many people were doing that. And that platform served as, that source of inspiration to even get the perspective of someone who was already in the game. And this would pretty much be a form of inspiration for me personally in starting off my career in the music industry. I was curious to know what exactly made him start that blog back in the day.
Shout out to all my guiding lights. I always want to, give them due praise because they made my journey in music easier. And I think the biggest inspiration for that was a blog called... I think the blog is still running, africanmusiclaw.com. Also run by a Nigerian entertainment lawyer named Udrak Odwok. She's based in America, I think LA. And I think that is a major reason for my blogging at the time. Now, immediately I qualified as a lawyer. I gave myself like 2 years to try to figure it out, like, what does this entertainment law thing mean? Bearing in mind that I had already kind of like discovered an interview when I was in my 3rd year, an interview by Audu Maikori. Then Chocolate City was, starting to pick up and they were doing amazing work. And in my 3rd year at the University of Lagos, I saw Audu Maikori, entertainment lawyer. No, that was in my 4th year. And that kind of like was the epiphany moment for me. Like, okay, there's something called entertainment law. And a year before, I discovered that there's something called intellectual property law. But I think my discovering Aldo's interview gave me all the clarity I needed, made it clearer.
Like he made it more relatable.
Exactly. Oh, a Nigerian lawyer owns a record label, has a music law firm, has an entertainment law firm. I think I can do this. But then, still in uni, I was still chasing my dream of being a musician. And then when I qualified, I dumped that dream. And I said, okay, instead of me trying to be like Two-Face, let me try to be like Aldo Maikori or Keke and D1.
Right.
Maybe someday I can have my own music company. And I duplicated Aldo's move, which was, he was a talent manager, he was doing events, and then he discovered some talents that announced him to the world. And that was my MO at the time.
Yeah.
That, okay, let me do this. And then I started talent management. I did that for like 2 years. And during me serving as a talent manager and as a publicist, I started touching base with everybody. So immediately I discovered Udrak's blog, African Music Law. And then I discovered that Why Naija was also profiling some people. So I started writing on my own blog. And then Why Naija gave me one of my big breaks. I did a commentary on, I think maybe like One the Cole or a record label dispute. And Why Naija just posted it, and that was the trigger. I remember sharing that with everybody, my wife, my girlfriend then. And I was really, really into it.
Akinyemi will face his first major disappointment in the industry. It was still early days for him. And this disappointment really served as a turning point for him. You know, it made him make that decision of what he really wanted for himself in the industry.
So I started managing the talent then. And I did that for like 2 years. Unlike the anniversary of the 2 years, he just told me, hey, we have to take a break. You're investing a lot of money, and I don't want to owe you too much.
Take a break for what?
He just wanted to take a break, maybe to figure it out with someone else or something. And me, that I was trying to be the next Aldo Maikori. I wanted to make you my own Emma Abaga. That dream just blew up in my face, and I was depressed for like 3 months. So at that point, I just made up my mind that as a professional, I would never be at the mercy of any individual again. And I think that kind of mindset has really, really served me. So at no point in my career do I elevate anybody above my survival or sustenance or consistency in earning a living as a professional. I used to be very, very troublesome online. A lot of people didn't see that part of me. Like, I was a noisemaker. You have to know that there's a lawyer here. With my content, I was really, really staying on the hot topics, which I recommend. If you're a young lawyer watching this, the industry is not very given to giving you a chance. You must fight for it. And I think one of the best ways to really, really build your name for yourself is to give value through content.
Right.
And yes, being a troublemaker would get you a lot of attention because it gave me a lot of attention. But as I started making a small, as I was recording, accomplishments little by little, poco a poco, I had to be more diplomatic.
I asked Akinyemi Law his opinion about, Afrobeats and just generally the creative industry and the future of it. And, this is what he had to say.
I think the Nigerians are the flag bearers for the black race. I really, really think that we're the most creative. Yeah, I think you should quote me. I said it in 2023, November. What's today's date? Yeah, but again, it's nothing new. I think you've heard it a couple of times. Many people believe that if Nigeria gets it right, the black race will get it right. I think we are the most creative, most hardworking branch of the black race. And it's not just, it's not a new thing. Nigeria has given the world the likes of Wole Soyinka. When it comes to creativity, Fela, King Sunny Ade, the best writers, the best painters, photographers, fashion creatives, in the world of creativity, Nigerians would always come top. If you line up all the African countries, Nigerians would always dominate by the sheer number of how many Nigerians are even on the planet. For every 5 black people, there's a Nigerian there.
For every 5 black people trying to do something, there's one
Nigerian.
Nigerian
In tech, in sports, in anything, even in entrepreneurship. I believe just by the numbers, we kind of like are in a very good position. So if we extrapolate that and narrow down into what's going on in music world, I think in black music, I don't see us giving away our position. I don't think any other country in Africa or other nationals in Africa would be able to compete to now kind of like dominate us.
So that's looking at it from the perspective of if we're from perspective of us being in competition with other African nations. Right?
I really do not think we're competing with African nations, really. Yeah. I think Nigerians are now like, because I just came back from Kigali. Mm-hmm. 3 months ago, I was in Tanzania.
Right.
3 months ago, I was in Ethiopia. Last week, I was in Kenya. Mm-hmm. Every step of the way, I always try to, go to the clubs. It's Nigerian music already.
So what I'm saying is that on a cultural level, we're dominated.
Yeah.
On the business side, in terms of, those investment keep coming in to put us on that level, do you reckon there's an expiry date on it?
So let me just quickly stress, because I don't want to come off as being arrogant or whatever, because I think Nigeria has soft power in Africa.
What do you mean?
We're able to influence things.
Right.
Everybody has already taken notes. The way we've been able to influence the way people live, which is culture. When it comes to film, music, or even social media content and all of that, the Nigerian content is top tier. And everybody can relate to that. I think we're very competitive people, and we're not going to give up this position easily. I even think we're just starting.
Right, next location. Can you speak more about, growing up, what that was like?
Yeah, so I grew up in a very conservative background. My parents were Deeper Life Bible Church devotees, and I was there up until like 10 years old, till I graduated at the University of Lagos. I was a member of Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministry. So I didn't watch television actively until I was like 11 years old.
So you guys actually...
No television in the house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so music was like the escape for me. So I had an aunt that was really, really into music. And she used to make us, myself and my younger sister, we sing and then we press record on the tape.
Yeah.
And then she plays it, and that was what kind of like nurtured the love for music. That was how we started. And then when I got to secondary school as well, music was that thing that made you feel cool. If you could sing, the babes will like you, or the girls will like you. And I wanted the girls to like me. I'm blessed. Music has really taken me to many places that if I wasn't working in the music business, I probably would not have experienced certain things. And this is one of such as well.